General Motors is hard at work on the next generation of its full-size light-duty pickup trucks, the Silverado 1500 from Chevrolet, as well as the Sierra 1500 from GMC. Now, GM Authority has already caught and brought you spy shots of the Silverado 1500, the 2027 next generation model. We've already brought you all kinds of spy shots of that truck. What we haven't brought you, and that's because we haven't been able to capture it, is the Sierra 1500, again, the 2027 model. But luckily today, all of that has changed with our eagle-eyed spy finally catching the 2027 Sierra 1500 prototype as it was undergoing testing. So let's dig right in.
Motronics.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and if we have not yet met, I'm Alex Luft. Welcome. And if you're not new here, then welcome back. Now, for those of you who are new here, let me do the obligatory song and dance and ask you to subscribe to the channel. It, of course, helps with all of the algorithms that YouTube is throwing at us these days. And if you are new here, or even if you're not new here, then give us a like. Give this video a like. It also helps in the algorithm department. All right, with that out of the way, let's get to the shots. So despite the heavy vinyl camouflage hiding the shaped body panels underneath, we can still tell that this prototype is the crew cab short box configuration. Now, how do we know that this is a Sierra and not a Silverado? Well, that's a great question, so let's first take a look at that. First and foremost, let's take a look at the front fascia, which features a new grille design that we can see peeking through the mesh, with a section cut out at the top to house what I imagine will be a prominent GMC badge. Now, this prototype features placeholder headlights, and their positioning appears to be lower than what we see in the current Sierra 1500. In fact, this new lighting arrangement appears to be more closely aligned with the Sierra EV than it does the current ICE-powered Sierra 1500. And it is at this point that I feel almost obliged to essentially tell you that despite the apparent design similarities that we see between this next generation Sierra 1500 prototype and the existing Sierra EV, I should tell you that these trucks mechanically will be completely unrelated. The Sierra 1500 will continue to ride on essentially an evolution of GM's T1 platform that underpins the current Sierra 1500 and Silverado 1500. This is an internal combustion architecture, and the next generation trucks will use an evolved version of it called T1-2. That's actually something that GM Authority was first to report on way back in, I want to say back in August. Now, the Sierra EV, by comparison, it actually rides on the BT1 platform. Despite the naming similarities, BT1 and T1 have absolutely nothing to do with each other. They are completely, from a mechanical standpoint, they are completely disparate platforms and completely different. So I felt like I needed to get that out of the way before I caused any kind of confusion. Okay, back to the spy shots. So beyond the upper grille and the headlights, the front fascia of this prototype features a reshaped air intake within the lower grille. This lower intake, in fact, seems to echo the design theme that, again, we already see on the Sierra EV today. And that is including, take a look at these, for example, these vertical slats. It includes these vertical slats at the bottom grille. I'd also like to point out the prominent lower air dam, which in this prototype is wrapped in black and white camouflage. Moving on to the sides, we don't really get much here in terms of cues. All that is obviously thanks to the heavy camo. And that leaves us to see only the fixed full-length running boards and the dual 6-spoke wheels, which are ironically also half camouflaged. The rear end of this prototype is similarly almost fully covered, with a bed cover and heavy camouflage on the tailgate. But we can still see the overhauled sliding rear window and quad-tipped exhaust finishers, both of which we've noted on the 2027 Silverado prototypes. And if we zoom in really closely, we will see that peeking through the camo is what seems to be a production intent taillight graphic, which features a thin, horizontally oriented strip similar to the design found on, you guessed it, the Sierra EV. Now, while the camouflage conceals much of the bodywork here, it looks like there is significant surface development hiding just under the covers. I'd say that there is quite a bit of sculpted details that will probably give GMC's full-size bread and butter truck a bolder and more athletic appearance, very similar to the surface development changes, to the styling changes and upgrades that we saw on the 2023 and newer GMC Canyon compared to the last generation Canyon. And the Sierra, in doing so, will also throw in all kinds of cues, it seems, from the Sierra EV. I expect this next generation Sierra 1500 to launch for the 2027 model year around the same time as the next generation 2027 Silverado 1500. Both of these next generation GM full-size trucks will feature updated exterior styling, overhauled interiors, a whole bunch of new tech features, and of course, GM's next generation, that's 6th generation small block V8 engines, which should include a new hybrid variant, along with all kinds of other important updates. We will have all of the updates as they come in right here on the Metrolix channel. And if you want to get even more of all things GM, including on the next gen Sierra, the next gen Silverado, or anything and everything in between when it comes to General Motors, well, guess what? GMauthority.com is the place where you can do that. I'm Alex Luft. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.
Motrolix.